Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. We have been asked, how will the future change? On my mind and in my heart, since a young child, has been a different question. How should the future change? I saw that girls were discriminated against. I saw that there were poor families and injustice around me, even in privileged democratic Norway. In my own country, it was possible to succeed in a fight for greater equality for women and better opportunities for all. This has been a driving force during my whole life, and still is, as women and girls across the world are still discriminated against, suppressed, and left behind. As a young minister of environment 4 decades back, I realized that the issue of inequality also had a dramatic additional dimension. A development that can protect our environment and safeguard our common future is only possible if we all are able to share responsibility and act in our common interest. There is no other option for a future of survival than one that includes the interest of all human beings across the globe. We all must have the right to justice, dignity, and equal opportunity. Then the UN Secretary General gave me an enormous task in 1983. 30 years have now passed since my World Commission on Environment and Development launched the groundbreaking report, Our Common Future, in 1987. The world of the 1980s was already ridden not only by extreme inequalities, not just between men and women, but between countries and within countries. Our widespread use of fossil fuels since industrialization was on dangerous rise and threatening the future, both for humanity itself and for planet Earth on which we all depend. Poverty was rampant. Population was still growing at an alarming rate. Food production in danger due to lack of water, desertification, and misuse. We described the urgent need for radical change, involving all sectors of society to avoid disaster, and instead pursue a path of sustainable development to safeguard the rights and survival for present and future generations. The struggle to spread this reality, to increase the awareness and create our combined ability to act, is still a critical one for all of us. Collaboration and finding the new technologies and other solutions, I believe, will now dominate the next 30 years. This is how our future will change. This is how our future can be won. As all countries finally became involved and ready to take responsibility, major results were gained in 2015. In New York and then in Paris, we concluded agreements on the Sustainable Development Goals and climate. And those agreements now apply to all countries. We must all take part, as individuals, as workers, voters, political leaders, civil society, and leaders in business. We have no more time for backwardness or denial. This is about the world we leave to the young and to future generations. I always ask young people to be open to new ideas and opportunities, and to keep asking themselves, how can I make a difference? I ask them to look for connections between issues, between sectors, between people. Everything is linked to everything else. And the more minds and hearts that have grasped that insight, the more hope for the future. I ask young people always to look for the evidence, strengthen it, share it, and act upon it. Knowledge is a force for good, one that is truly renewable. As I became the Director General of the World Health Organization in 1998, I asked the international community to realize that not only education, but critically as well health, is core of human development and progress. So finally, we now need the young generation to lead us on a path toward equality. They are the largest youth generation in history, the most globally connected and aware. They are the ones to lead us towards a sustainable world of equality where no one is left behind. Thank you.